Hey, Red Beans and Rice, it's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 27 review. So I went on Rotten Tomatoes, and there's 32 episodes this season. So we got 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 5 more episodes to go. 5 more. Then we'll have the reunion, which I'm pretty sure will be 2 parts, maybe even 3. And Love and Marriage DC better be coming on in January. We're about to have a problem because that show has been off the air now for a full year and they have been wrapped. And I have been waiting to see the aftermath from the Christmas party episode. Carlos, what is going on? I need answers, sir. Everybody else that came back again. Where is Love and Marriage DC? Anywho. Hey guys, it's me again. Calm down now. Okay, so we start off the episode with Kimmi and Maurice working on an office building or something that they doing together with Maurice's brother, Micah, whatever. And it's been 8 months and it still ain't all the way complete. And she complaining about Marceau fronting like he did handiwork when they first got together and how she thought that she was going to be with somebody that liked to fix stuff, and come to find out he don't like to fix stuff, and he sold her a dream, and he always bringing up how he a lawyer and how he got this case and that case like he on night court. And I'm like, first of all, I'm tired of Kimmi complaining. I truly am tired of Kimmi complaining about the things that Maurice does, knowing she ain't gonna do nothing about it, but continue to complain. It's annoying. And I'm frankly offended that Maurice get on here talking about he a lawyer and he got this lawsuit and that lawsuit and that lawsuit against this lawsuit. Child, ain't nobody thinking about you in that ICDC college degree that you got online. Boy, get out of here. Don't nobody take you serious as no lawyer. Boy. So Kimmi in her confession was like, I often feel like Maurice helps when it's convenient or mutually beneficial or when I ask him 10 times. That sounds about right, because everything's about Maurice. When are you going to realize that you'll forever come, what, third? Because it's Maurice, it's Monster. No, when you say third, it's his job, Kiowa, then you. Like, it sucks being you, Kimmi. Sorry. So she then tells him about how Tisha took a pregnancy test when they went to the vaginal steam place. And he looking like, what? Like, why would she take a pregnancy test when Marceau got a vasectomy? And she was like, don't say nothing. Let her tell him first. And I'm like, why is everybody making this a big deal? Like, there's not a possibility that the vasectomy could not have worked. It happens a lot of times. Like, why is it already like, ooh, did Tisha out here doing something she ain't got no business doing? Like, we all know Tisha ain't did nothing. She ain't standing on business. She ain't going nowhere. She ain't cheating. She gonna continue to be dumb, child. So, like, let's not even play this game. Like, I'm already annoyed. So Stormi visits Tisha at her real estate office site that ain't done neither, child. Everybody over there with undone businesses. And Stormi asks about Kiki and have they talked, and she was like, no, like, that's a wrap. I ain't got nothing to say to her. And basically Stormi was like, I feel like y'all should at least try to work things out. Y'all family, this, that, and the third. And Tisha says, at the barbecue, you got emotional about your friend. You've been there for that person, but sometimes you have to back away. And, she's choosing to back away. And at this point, I don't blame Tisha for backing away. Like, I don't blame Kiki for backing away, because obviously there's too much that has been said and done between these two for them to ever get back to any type of resemblance of a relationship. It's never going to work at this point. It just simply isn't. And I think it's best for them to be separate. So, Stormi was like, well, it's different, because Kiki is in recovery. She's not currently using. And here go Tisha. She is, though. I can't say I saw her take a pill. However, I can say that her behavior is similar to what it was then. Okay, so what does it say about your behavior? Because we all think you slow, but you just got a speech impediment. So I guess we wrong for assuming. Just like you're wrong to assume because you don't know. Like you just said, that is a huge statement to be making, going around her standing tall and wrong, accusing this girl of being, on drugs again. Like, you so wrong. And I'm so glad that Mel, had her take that test on camera, in front of everybody, impromptu, and it came back negative. And I'm so happy that I see you, Mel. Oh, I see you. That she didn't tell anybody. She didn't tell anybody that she had her take that test and that she passed it, because she wanted to continue to allow Tisha to put her foot in her mouth and dig a deeper hole for herself. So at the reunion, she could have egg on her face. Like, you sitting up here going around telling everybody that this girl is on drugs and she wasn't. You look stupid. Like, I'm so happy. So happy. I think that the only person that knows about the test is Stormi. Didn't Kiki tell her, if I'm not mistaken? I don't think Kiki even told her. I don't think nobody knows, which is so genius. So genius. I'm so happy for that, because Tisha is loud and wrong, and she bet not get at their reunion not apologizing to that girl, because you owe her a huge apology. You and the Grinch. Okay? The both of you. So, Stormi in her confessional hates that Tisha keep on accusing this girl of using when she doesn't have proof. So then Tisha tells her about this girl's trip she just recently went on, and says that while she was going on her trip, Marceau went on a trip with his friends for a bachelor party to Colombia, and it was their wedding anniversary weekend. Why didn't y'all do something together? Or y'all gonna do something together at a later date? Like, what's going on with that? But okay. So Stormi was like, girl, they went to Colombia. She was like, they be having a lot of brothels there. Like, it's prostitutes everywhere, all on the corners. Like, And she was like, well, that's what they be doing. Okay. So Tisha in her confession was like, me and Marceau know how to behave ourselves. We are enjoying life. Maybe you need to get out the warehouse and have a little fun. Well, you could tell at this point, this is when things went completely sour between them two, that now Tisha's talking ish about Stormi in her confessionals. And I was like, about time, because you been acting like you scared of little Stormi, child. I think because she knows that when her and Mel get into it, that it'll never really get physical. But I think that she knows with Stormi, it will get physical. Who y'all think will win between Tisha and Stormi? Because they about the same weight and height. So who y'all got? I think it'll probably be a tie. Because, Tisha talk a big game like she used to throw hands back in the day. And Stormi, like I said, looked like she used to fight for fun. So, I don't know. I think it might be a little good tie. So, after that, Tisha was like, so how's Courtney? He's still upset? Girl, being so passive aggressive throughout this whole conversation. And it was cracking me up because Tisha was trying this lady in her face. So Stormi was like, nah, he was never upset. Courtney don't play like that. I think we should still do a double date. And I'm like, why is you asking this girl to go out on a double date? You already doing her like this. You don't really see it for her. So like, why are you even trying to double date? But then I got to remind myself this is a reality show. So, okay. So they agreed that they're going to do a double date. Stormi didn't bring up the whole hair care debacle. And, if you don't know, Tisha used Stormi's hair care product statement on her daughter's hair care products. Like, verbatimly took her whole thing and put it on hers and had Canvas Beauty email address and everything. Like, just copied and paste and got caught. So, she asked Tisha, is she gonna apologize? And Tisha was looking at her like, absolutely not. Like, why would I apologize to you? Tisha was like, it was my graphic design artist's fault. He did it. I didn't know, but no, she's not apologizing. And I'm like, this girl is bold AF. Once again, if anybody is a business person, you know fully well that you give all of the information to a graphic design artist that you want on whatever you're hiring them to do. They just don't fill it out for you. Because how they gonna tell you what your product is about, what your event is about, whatever you're promoting is about? That don't even make sense, girl. You copied and pasted that girl stuff. Stop blaming it on this so-called graphic design artist. Girl, you did that. You did that. And you was dumb and didn't go through and fully proofread. Just keep it a buck. We all know you did it. And then the fact that you're not going to even apologize for dragging her into your mess is crazy to me. So, Stormi was like, this happening through my brand under the bus too. Like, people was attacking me, saying that we was in cahoots together, all of this, that, and the third. And she was like, you could have still called me at least. And Tisha was like, and you could have called me. Why would she call you when you used her product information? Make it make sense, girl. So, Stormi was like, I did call you first. And Tisha told her, well, what you say? Girl, Stormi better than me, because I would have been like, cut. And I would have took off that flip-flop she had on and bopped her upside her big forehead, because stop playing with me. So Stormi was like, the stuff about the website, it's happening. It was a bad look for you. And Tisha had the nerve to say, it wasn't a bad look for me. Oh, really? Like, this girl can't take accountability for nothing. She can never say that she is wrong. Never. And in this case, you're blatantly wrong, got caught being wrong, and you still refuse to apologize. So Stormi was like, Tisha, it was. The fact that the girl's launch was overshadowed. This girl then takes it even further with an F you to the face and says, yeah, but we got a lot of sales off of it, though. At the end of the day, it still worked out for them. Baby, Stormi face was looking like, I know somebody better get her. Somebody better get her. Like, it was like Stormi didn't know what to say. Like, she had to recalibrate her brain before she combust. Like, oh, she trying it. Oh, yeah, she was trying it. Yes, ma'am, she did. Like, what you mean that wasn't a good look? I mean, that it wasn't a good look for you. Like, it was a bad look for you, my love. Like, now people look at you like you're a fraud, you're a thief, you're inauthentic, you don't know what you're doing. So yes, it was a bad look. And the fact that you can't even admit that is craziness to me. Craziness. I don't understand how Stormi still stuck around or didn't cuss her out right then and there, because girl. So Tisha then says, I got a lot of people that just don't like me. I'm so sick of her bringing up people not liking you. Well, how about you stop doing stuff to make people not like you? Because this is the stuff that makes us, the audience, not like you, because you say and do dumb-ish all the time. So Stormi was like, but I'm in the same boat, and that's what I'm saying. It was a bad look for me and for you. The same amount of hate you get, I do too. So then Tisha was like, well, I apologize to you for that, because I had no idea. I didn't know. So Stormi was like, okay. And she accepts the apology. But girl, that apology wasn't worth nothing. Not even a penny. So in her confessional, Stormi said that she got her eye on Tisha, but ain't gonna give up on her yet. Child, I don't know why. Because she don't care about you, obviously, at all. Girl, I've been through Tisha away. Been through her away. Season 1, I threw her away and they never looked back. That lady got issues. More issues in Vogue. It ain't all more so. She plays a big role in the stuff that goes on in her life. And I'm sick of her trying to blame everybody else for her problems. So Chris goes to Nell's daycare to talk to her about Chris Jr. And he tells her how, they talked at his office and how, he was really down and seemed to be depressed and, he's really concerned. And Nell just started going off about how Chris a a-hole and needs to be a man and grow up, this, that, and the third. And I know a lot of people are going to come down on Nell for tonight's episode and the way that she responded to Chris when he came to her about their son. But I'm going to play devil's advocate because I'm looking at their dynamics, and it's obvious that it's good cop, bad cop. Obviously, to the children, Chris is good cop. He's easier to talk to. He's laid back. He doesn't yell. He listens. He seems like he's a lot more lenient. You know what I'm saying? As a parent, the more easygoing one, the one that you can probably get over on more. And it's obvious to me that Nell is the bad cop. So, as far as the kids go, where she's the one that's going to yell, reprimand them, stand on that. And I don't care if you don't like me. It is what it is. Somebody got to be the disciplinarian in this household. So you could tell that that's the roles that they have curated with their children. And in this state, it's seeming to me like Nell is just coming from a place of being tired, because she know her child. And she do know her child be full of ish. And we all know our kids can play in our face and try to play victim and get over and, want us to baby them and this is that and the third. And she's coming really hard because she wants him to get up, you know what I'm saying? And man up and take responsibility, and I get it. I 100% get it as a parent. But in this case, I just needed for her to listen to her husband right off the jump when he was coming to her. You could tell with the way Chris voiced, his mannerism, that he was really, truly shook by the conversation that he had with Chris Jr. And I wish that Nell would have just been like, yo, wait a minute, instead of just being on the fence, from the gate. I just needed her to bag back for me and Mama Bear and go to nurturing and loving and protecting her cub. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we got to get off of the disciplinarian hat and go to a loving hat, you know what I'm saying, with our children. And that's what her son needs right now. He's still very young. He still got a lot to learn. And obviously the conversation that he had with his father was like a low-key cry out for help, that he does need help. And I just wish that she would attack the situation a lot more differently from the gate. So Chris tells her that, he told him that he'd be driving around 2-3 o'clock in the morning aimlessly, going to some place just to sit and think. And once again, Nell was like, well, that's going to get his A in trouble with the police. Anything could be happening. No. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get that because I'm the same way. But that's not what the main issue is. It's the fact that your son is running and trying to escape his life, his self. That's the bigger picture here. So Chris was like, it made me tear up when he was talking to me. Like, I couldn't even hold it in. And so Nell was like, Chris been messed up since he got all them letters for football and it didn't go nowhere. So obviously he was a football prospect and it didn't pan out the way he wanted it to. And that was his main goal. He thought that was going to be the thing that got him to where he wanted to be in life, and it didn't happen. And now you could tell he's probably in limbo because he don't know what to do with himself. That was his number one passion. That was what he was focused on. And now that he doesn't have that, he is lost. And I think that now is the time to, as a parent, sit down with him and try to figure out his next step in life. Because even me, myself, I'm going through the same thing with my child. We all think that at 18, our job is done. No, it's not. It's not done. And I'm myself learning that even when our children are in their 20s, we still have to very much help them and parent them. You know what I'm saying? And it's obvious that he needs guidance and he needs help. And that's where y'all come in at. So yeah, he does need to stand up and take responsibility for the mistakes that he's made. But I feel like they both need to step in and help him figure out his next move, because obviously he can't do it by himself and he needs help. And y'all telling him, you a man, you a man, you a man. Yeah, technically he's a man, but in reality, he's still a teenager. Because we all know when we 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, we didn't know what the hell we was doing. We thought we was grown, but we really weren't. We were just starting to somewhat get adulthood by the time you hit 30. You know what I'm saying? So he just needs a little grace. He really honestly does. Love and care and all of that stuff. So Nell says, if he's willing to go to counseling, she'll be willing to. But he got to basically prove to her that that's what he's on. You know what I'm saying? And that she not going to stress him about the money situation anymore. She'll take that off the table. She's willing to work with him. And hopefully she stands true to her word and he stands true to his. So Tisha, Kimmi, and Mel link up at the nail shop. And before Mel gets there, Kimmi asks Tisha, did she tell Marceau about the pregnancy test? And she was like, nope. And I'm like, stop trying to make fetch happen. We all know that lady ain't cheated on that man. Stop. So Mel gets there and Kimmi mentions to her about not being invited to her name change. And Mel says that it was just for, her family and her close friends. It was a really small, intimate, event. And she didn't want it to become a big thing. Like if she invited Kimmi, she would have had to invite Maurice. And then that would have got back to Martell and, just a bunch of he said, she said, and, teasing him, and she ain't want all of that or whatever. But Kimmi in her confession was like, it's kind of telling I didn't make the cut. She said she invited her core friends. Yeah. Is it messed up? Yeah, my feelings would have been hurt because even I assumed or thought that she and Mel were closer than that. I'm not saying they BFFs, but I thought they had a better relationship where even if she didn't want to invite Maurice, you still could have just invited her to come and said that this is just for my close friends. And I think that she would have most definitely gotten that and been like, okay, I'm going to my friend event. Maurice, you staying at home. And it wouldn't have been no issue. But, maybe Mel found out something behind the scenes, that made her feel like she can't trust Kimmi on that level, because she says in her confessional that she basically didn't invite them because she doesn't really know, or she hasn't known over the years if they're really for her or against her. And we're not gonna front like, at times Kimmi hasn't said little slick stuff when it comes to Mel and Martell's relationship and all of that type of stuff throughout the years. So I kind of get where she's coming from, but then on the other flip side, I do think that it was shady. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. So after that, Kimmi brings up her changing her last name and now not having the same last name as her kids. And Mel says, my kids will always have that name, but I was married into that name. Like, I don't need that last name. I don't want that last name. So, Kimmi then says, that doesn't play a role either as far as your kid's name and your last name being different. And Mel was like, no. And Kimmi was like, well, when I got married, I moved my last name to my middle name. I never wanted to be in that stereotype where your kids go to school and they're like, what's your last name? And they're like, Grant. And what's your mama's last name? Scott. As African Americans, I think we're often thrown into a stereotypical cycle of, I'm going to assume your kids don't have your mama's last name. And I think it's tragic. That just mattered to me. Well, first of all, I get what Kimmi's saying, but I feel like that is so antiquated. This is not 1942. Ain't nobody judging nobody off the mama not having the same last name as a child, girl. This is not how it was when we grew up in the 80s or whatever. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about that anymore. Whether you white, black, or what. Don't nobody care about that anymore. Like, that's so antiquated and just like I said, antiquated thinking. It's just Stone Age to me. Y'all let me know, do y'all think that that's a big thing still or nah? Let's talk about it. So Mel was like, you mean being baby mamas and not having the last name, having not been married? And Kimmi was like, yeah. And so Mel was like, well, you and Jalen technically don't have the same last name anymore. Who shot you? Okay. And Kimmi was like, yeah. Now, on social media, Kimmi put up a post today in regards to tonight's episode and this part. And she says, wow, this clip really got the girls feeling away, confused. Shout out to the graceful edit. Some think this conversation is related to moms and their children that they had and were not married doesn't really apply. However, the actual conversation, not shade, not dig, the conversation was in regards to moms who get divorced and weigh their options on keeping their married last name or not. A lot of that decision making includes their professional advancements with that name and their children. And then she put hashtag next. Okay. Regardless, if that was the context of the conversation about keeping your husband's last name, as far as, you know, you and your children having the same last name, and as far as business advancements, okay, y'all was having that conversation. In this context, it still don't matter, because once again, I feel like don't nobody care about whether you got the same last name as your kids. And then secondly, as far as career advancement, she ain't advancing having the last name Holt. Yeah, that's what the world knew her as, but we still know her as Melody. The Holt part don't matter. It's Melody. Okay, she can go by one name at this point, Melody. She could drop the Cherie. We all just know her as Melody or Mel, okay? So the whole context of that conversation, to me, didn't even have anything to do with Mel. Because it doesn't help her at all. Like what? I just feel like she was talking to be talking, to be honest with you. And it didn't really make any sense to me. Like, Kimmi, you got bigger things to worry about than somebody's last name. But okay, girl, go off. So then the whole situation between Tisha and Mel feeling some type of way about how Tisha, you know, was low-key coming at her at the town hall meeting about the expo comes up, and Tisha apologizes for if Mel thought that her negative energy was coming towards her. That's exactly how she felt. I hate when people say if. That's but okay, whatever. But we all know that was the reason. It wasn't about everything. It was about the fact that Mel was talking right. And you didn't like that. Your man was once again agreeing with your enemy. So we all know what that was about. So at the end of the episode, Courtney, Stormi, Tisha, and Marceau do a double date. And before Marceau and Tisha get there, Stormi tells Courtney about her talk with Tisha and how she blamed everything on a graphic design artist. And Courtney was like, don't she realize that's her business? Like, huh? Like, it ain't adding up. So Stormi in her confession was like, she was like, I'm tired. No, she said, I have tried with these FA people. I'm thinking, and I'm like, that B was really playing with me the other day. And I'll let you make it, and you still playing with me. I'm tired of playing with y'all H's. Like, she's sick of y'all, basically. Okay? And she realizing now that, yeah, I really let her play in my face. And I really wish I wouldn't have had done that. So Tisha and Marceau get there. And mind you, they arrive an hour and a half late. Now, I don't care about production saying they on their way. Y'all please stay. No. Absolutely not. Y'all better be feeding me, giving me all the free drinks, because ain't no way. Y'all, you doubly playing in my face now by showing up an hour and a half being funny, because that's the type of stuff that y'all do. Y'all like to play little games like that. Okay? So yeah, no, I wouldn't have been staying. So they get there and the energy is just so awkward and weird between them because y'all don't like each other. So like, why are we double dating? So the whole situation at the town meeting comes up, and Marceau says, Reese told me Courtney mad at me. And Courtney was like, I ain't got no problem with you, but I'm going to tell you one thing, though. At the meeting, you was like Mr. Steele. You know my last name. Don't play with me like that. That's some ish that kids do. Period. And Marcel was like, that's selective outrage. You had a problem with that, but you ain't have a problem with your wife calling me a B like 10 times. True. Period. Stormi was like, you ain't had no problem with it. Because remember, you said you are a B. True. Period. So Marcel was like, but I'm going to get my lick back. And Stormi was like, you could have gotten your lick back with me. Marcel was like, I'm not going to get my lick back with you. I guess because she a woman. But you said you're a woman. Your hips bigger than your wife's and hers. But okay, whatever. So Stormi was like, you said you were the biggest B. The baddest B. Who's bad? So Stormi in her confessional says that she respects his boundaries and won't call him a B no more. And then in the scene, Stormi said, granted, the word B is disrespectful. However, you feel like in order to get your lick back against me, you had to go towards Courtney. Technically, that ain't no ish a man would do. That's some ish a B would do. So that's why I called you a B. A man would have been like, Courtney, get your MF and wife. Like, Stormi, you just called him a B again. Yeah, you did. You just called the man a B again. So Marcel is like choosing his words wisely because he like to get people back with his words because he really don't want no smoke. Like, he really don't want to like tussle for real. So Marcel was like, still after that conversation, you're still choosing to use the word. And Stormi was like, I'm not calling you a B. Not right now. So Marcel was like, I feel like you did. I'm going to learn to ignore what you say. And Stormi was like, that's disrespectful. That's why she got a drink thrown in her face. Reading you long. I was like, it's getting spicy. So, Tisha was like, why I get a drink thrown in my face? And Stormi was like, because y'all was ignoring the F out of Kiki. And Tisha was like, that's not a reason to throw a drink on someone. And Stormi was like, I ain't say it was a reason, but that's why she did it. So Marcel was like, we talked about this a little bit after the party. Listen to what he said. We talked about this a little bit after the party. You told me that in your culture, B is a frequent word. I don't have time to really learn adults' new culture. And whatever was said in that context triggered Stormi to the point where she grabbed her keys to her G-Wagon and was like, I really got a lot of work to do for real. I gotta go. But I'm gonna stay here and watch Courtney finish this last shot. But she was pissed and she was frazzled and she was trying to hold herself back, seemed like, from scrapping. Okay? So we see Marcel say, this is a weird exchange right here. And Tisha was like, you invited us to have a date night. I don't get it. What I took from that is it could have been two things. When he said, we talked about this a little bit after the party. Now, remember, after the party, they also talked about her friend that was, had an addiction problem. And it could have been cut out where he made reference to that, or maybe him saying that triggered the thought about her friend. I don't know, but that's what I'm tying to that. Or when he said, you said in your culture that saying the B word is a word that is used frequently. Maybe that could have made her feel like he was basically saying that she was from the wrong side of the tracks, like he said, Tisha. I don't know. But my thing is, Stormi, you was playing the big boss game. You was, throwing your 1-2. Don't let him get you frazzled to the point now you got to walk away and run. Girl, who is Elf? Elf on the shelf. Don't let him run. Like, I really wish, don't let him make you run off. I really wish he wouldn't have just bolted like that. You know what I'm saying? And let him win, because that's what Marcel likes to do. He likes to get in there and weasel his way in and hit you where it hurts. See, he couldn't frazzle somebody like me, because I'm going to hit him where it hurts. It ain't just calling him no B. Oh, I'm going to attack everything about him. And ain't nobody did that about him yet. See, I'm going to get him where it hurt. I'm going to talk about your family, your kids, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your body, your wife, your jobs, everything. Okay? That's how I'm going to get you. And see, that's how Mel always wins when she goes up against Marceau, because she knows how to get him where it hurt. Like when they had they little sit down and she hit him with the 1-2 about that lawsuit. Oh, shut him up real quick. Okay? And about him filing for bankruptcy. Shut him up real quick. He ain't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? That's how you embarrass somebody like him, who always want to act like they big dog when they really roof. You know what I'm saying? He really a little dog. You know what I'm saying? And you got to expose him in that little dog capacity. So I really wish she wouldn't have let him get her, frazzled. But yeah, that friendship between her and Tisha is kaput. It's kaput. But we all knew it wasn't going to last long. Tisha, I'm sorry, is a trash human being just like her husband. And that's just that on that. But I wish instead of talking about the B word and all that, they would have just got down to business, and she should have just confronted Tisha on like, I ain't like the way you handled that situation. It made me feel some type of way. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Yeah. But, Stormi, you said you weren't gonna call that man OB no more, and you did, which was wrong. And like I said, I just wish that she would have just said why she was feeling some type of way, because it was obvious that Stormi was feeling some type of way. And I wish she would have just came out and said what it exactly was, instead of beating around the bush and, being petty and being passive aggressive, bringing up the B stuff and all of that. Like, that was just, but it was entertaining nonetheless to watch. But Tisha, somebody need to crack her in her mouth. Like, yo, her and Marceau, bro. Overall, I'm going to give tonight's episode an 8. It was a really good episode. This is a 36-minute review. Oh, my God. Y'all make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.